Could have been either Sunderland or Norwich, which might have made it a little bit easier for you.
Well, you're always going to think that, aren't you? And yeah, but unfortunately it wasn't. But having said that, I mean, the two games against Liverpool, I mean, I think there was nothing between us, and apart from 3 minutes, whatever it was, on the board after Darren scored that goal. But I think what you got to remember, and someone who probably gets a little bit forgotten as well, is Graham Paddon, and the role he played alongside, obviously, the gaffer Jim, and the tactical side of how we played the Forest game. Because I don't really watch games, but I did watch the Forest game going back a bit, and how well we were and how disciplined we were in that. And we had to be the same against a very, very good and talented Liverpool side. And I've got to be honest, I never really had a lot to do in those two games. I really didn't. So I think that's testament to how disciplined and how well we did play in those two games, yeah.
The party they were planning was at Highbury, and every one of them believed that their team could provide Pompey with the present they all wanted: victory over Liverpool and a fourth FA Cup final appearance. Around 30 coaches left Fratton Park. Altogether, around 80 coaches and myriad cars left the city, destination Highbury. Fans of all ages, shapes and sizes were there. The bizarre, the ordinary, even the well-known.
How are you?
I'm fine,
Good.
I'm fine. You're looking forward to the day, obviously.
Oh yeah, very, very excited. Very excited. We're going to win.
We're going to win 2-1.
Everybody's saying 2-1.
Oh, wow.
It's getting pretty hot though, isn't it?
Yeah, I got 3 layers on. I have to start stripping off in a minute.
It's going to be cold.
Once they all reached their destination, the fans provided magnificent support. The team almost brought them their wildest dream.
Now, the goal's still fresh in my mind, so it certainly must be in yours. Warren Neal's long ball, away you go, beat Grobbelaar. You must think that's it.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I was fortunate enough that year to play with Warren Neal behind me, and we struck up a great understanding at the start of the year. I came into the team and probably played in front of Wally as a wing back, which was hard work. And I remember getting a bit of bronchitis at some point early in the season. Coming out of the team, Warren Neal came in and, of course, was brilliant. So I think when I did get back into the team, it was in place of Steve Wigley in front of Warren Neal, and he was brilliant for me. What a professional, what a player, his knowledge of the game. And he used to just feed me, and I was able to go and do my thing. That summed it up. He knew what I was going to do. I knew what he was going to do. As the ball rolled back to him, I knew that he was going to stick it in behind. And there I was, one-on-one. I remember the morning of the game. You know, Steve Wigley, who, you know, I had taken his place that season, but what a great guy, and always giving me advice and trying to help me, which on that morning most certainly helped him, saying to me that if you do get a one-on-one with Grobbelaar, then he will try and read you. So give him the eyes, and that's what I did. I got a little bit of luck, I suppose, with the bobble, but it went where I wanted it to go, and he got a hand on it, and I couldn't believe it when it rolled into the corner and in front of our fans. It's still one of my favourite moments throughout my career. But as you say, the way we had played that day defensively and whatever nights he had to do, dealt with fairly comfortably. It didn't really see them breaking us down. So of course, the way that they scored, and you know, the last minute so late in a game when you're dreaming of beating the mighty Liverpool and going to an FA Cup final, made it not quite as an enjoyable day after. It's tough to lose any game, but to lose a semi-final, it felt like a loss because it was a draw in that manner, was really tough to take.
This is Nicol, Steve Nicol, a good run. Oh, he's been tricked. Andy Orford. Oh, it's gone in. It's been followed in. Ronnie Whelan. It's a replay at Villa Park.
And what happens with that goal, Maxie? Just take us through it.
Well, as I said, well, do you
It's a great
break
save.
it down from all? Yeah, well, I keep saying it's
It was
a great save.
save.
I mean,
Unbelievable
obviously
save.
the free kick is given away in not the best of areas. I ain't going to go on about blaming Ulfs about it as per usual, but it is what it is. And all right, you got Barnes taking a free kick, and I think Jim Smith still has a photo where he thinks my hand's past the post, and I should have got more of a hand on it. But I do just get the slightest fingertip to it. And we have this conversation about round posts, elliptical posts, and unfortunately it comes across the line. But there's also the thing, why is Whelan allowed to come in and no one's following up? But you have all that. It's been a long day, and there's tied legs, tied minds and everything around it. And but even in the semi-final, we had in the replay, we had opportunities. And as I said earlier, I mean, I wasn't overworked in either game, and Brucey Grobbelaar had a lot more to do than I did, and he made one or two. I remember one he had to get back and flick over the bar. It might have been from Macca, I'm not sure, but he made a lot more saves, more match-winning saves, if you want, than I had to do in those two games.
And 2 days after that game, we had to go to Tranmere, which surely none of you wanted, and even another more sensational goal.
You stitched me up here. I think that's on goals and gaffes, isn't it? Danny Baker's goals and gaffes. I'm going to leave it. I'm sure you'll put it in.
I can't remember it.
I definitely kicked a geezer in and smashed it in from the halfway line. Yeah. I ain't doing any more interviews. I'm going to do. I'm going to walk out.
Going back to the goal in the first semi-final, though, I mean, Knightsy's. I remember being in the war, and of course you're thinking, John Barnes, he's got unbelievable technique, and it was I think it was such a good free kick that the initial reaction is from players, it's in, and therefore already on your heel. So when Knightsy then makes the ridiculous save and it hits the post, instead of us thinking, well, he's going to save this, rebounds, didn't happen. Ronnie Whelan did what strikers should do, attacking midfielders should do, and that was his reward, and unfortunately for us. But yeah, we had to go up from there and go and play at Tranmere, which mentally was really tough after that game. I think really tough couple of days, because of course off the back of that, people are giving us so much credit about the way we played in the first game. Then got to go up to Tranmere, and it had been a long season. That game came up, they were up for it, we were drained, I think, mentally probably more than physically, and also in mind was a replay against Liverpool.